Hey everyone, welcome at today's hoteliga's webinar, 7 ways to boost direct bookings for small hotels. My name is Peter Dziedzicz and I am head of marketing at Hoteliga. Hoteliga is all-in-one solution for hoteliers that include property management system, channel manager, and commission-free booking engine. But this webinar is not about Hoteliga itself, but about possibilities how you can increase direct bookings at your hotel. So for now, this is enough about Hoteliga. I see that people are coming in, so I think we can start. I'm super excited about this webinar, about this topic, because in many cases, this is the point of pain. Yeah, we heard from a lot of hoteliers, from most of them, that the online travel agencies gives to the hotels a lot of reservations, but at the same time, they lower hotel profits because of the commission fees that hotels like Booking or Expedia demand. And and I don't know if you know, but uh, hotels like Expedia, Booking.com are responsible for a large proportion of online hotel room reservation, but at the same time demand between 10 and up to 20% in commission fees. And this is something like many of hoteliers have a problem with. And at today's webinar, I will show you how to gain more bookings from your website besides the bookings from the online travel agencies. Independent hotels are particularly OTA dependent. On average, more than 42% of independent hotel rooms are reserved online, but unfortunately, only 24% of them of these bookings come via the hotel website, where 76% are made through OTAs. But this is not the end of the insights, because a well-managed relationship with OTA can be beneficial, but dependency is dangerous and ultimately heavily hit the hotel bottom line. So how can you as a hotelier get the most of your OTA's relationships and drive more direct booking from your website? This is the question that I will try to answer today. And what is interesting, that according to TripAdvisor, 57% of people survived worldwide using OTAs, let me repeat, like Expedia, Booking.com, or smaller ones to help plan their travel. But it doesn't have to mean booking through them too. Google observes that 52% of travelers visit your hotel website after seeing you on OTA. And this is the point when we can change, when we have this great opportunity to convert more bookings on our own hotel website instead of converting gain more bookings from online travel agencies. Of course, you can think how you can promote your hotel to gain website visitors. This is like the most familiar is probably Google AdWords campaign, but they are expensive, and all of you have direct competitors for bids from online travel agencies and from other hotels in your neighborhood. And unless you run a large international hotel chain, chances of outbidding the OTAs in search engines are pretty slim. But we can use the exposure that OTAs give us to build our own brand awareness. So let's see what you can do to boost your direct bookings. Of course, the rules I will present, the tips, tactics are not the end of the list, and you can find more of them. Some of them you are possibly doing right now, some of them you have not. You can combine them, and you can think about creating your own silver bullet, your own magnet that help you with direct booking. So let's begin. At the start, I want to talk about the social proof. Social proof is pretty big thing, and this is more psychological trick than than anything else. And the case is that as I check many of your websites, because before this webinar I want to prepare myself not only about generic content, but also I wanted to check your website to find some cases on your hotel's website. So some of you will find screenshots from your hotel even. And I want to speak about the social proof at this time. So user-generated content is the most trusted form of marketing. It is a word of mouth in digital form. You potentially guests are bombarded with ton of ads and are very of the claims that your hotel makes. There will be a lot of more accepting of what other guests say about you. This is why social proof is a must. Reviews in particular help convert lookers into bookers. So include guest reviews on your website helps keep customers on your site to book direct. And as I check, many of you doesn't have, for example, special website when you have all reviews, so you didn't include any reviews on your website. And I think what you can do right now is to think about with your marketing agency or with your website developer, the person who is responsible for your hotel's website, to think about how we can include the reservation page on your website, and it would be big change for you. A dedicated page accessible from your website makes locating your reviews easy for the website visitors, but you can also alternatively highlight hand-picked reviews on your homepage or on other pages to endorse information content. With so many customers tuning to online reviews, it's safe to say that customers' reviews are one of the most influential kinds of social proof, and therefore are the most important kind of social proof to include on your website. And of course, this is not the end. You can use widgets and plugins to rotate through selection of your reviews, can be embedded in the body of the website or in the sidebar of all pages. Other forms of social proofs is like something like social media followers, numbers on your website, and trust symbols like TripAdvisor, badges and rating widgets work, and they work well to convert customers when they are on your site. So you have to think about, because this is as I check, most of you doesn't have this on your website, so you have to think about including reviews on your website. If you go to booking.com or other hotel, you saw the lot of reviews, and this is the case. The next thing I want to talk about is the law of reciprocation, and this is something you are familiar with, but you are probably doesn't know the term itself. The law of reciprocation is perhaps one of the most powerful of all social behaviors we possess. If you are not sure what it is simply the act of returning a favor, and we do it all the time. So all of us have this situation. Have you ever had a present from someone at work, and you say, "Hi, I have yours at home, and I will bring it in tomorrow," and only for you to dash to the shops and get them one because you never thought they would get you one. Or perhaps you reward a waiter a huge tip because he went out if his way to help you. Well, you can leverage the same law with your website, hotel's website, in variety of ways. The most powerful is, of course, money. Yeah, giving someone money or money towards is an easy way to encourage bookings. Disney does this all the time with the free living offer that they use every few years. The offer could be, for example, receive €10 cashback discount, or a free meal, or an extra night for free, or a free bottle of wine on your arrival. The issue is not really what it is. It is simply has to be something relevant and of value. Now this type of offer works on so many levels. Firstly, you have to front-load the attention to something that you will give them for free. And this leverages the law of recreation because you are offering someone free if they book. I saw the same law done in reverse on my recent travel. I was in London, and the hotel owners and staff always ask me goodbye and ask how my stay was. And this is ridiculously smart, because if someone says it was great, then they are unlikely to go away and write a terrible review on TripAdvisor. Remember, we like to be consistent. And the next thing was the free goodbye gift. Okay, now it's scarcely powerful because this law makes me want to thank them and to do something great for them. In that case, I wrote a great review, so you can leverage this law, a low-cost method, and ensuring great social proof, right? So you have to think about this. This is more one thing you can message this on your website, and the second thing you can think about how you say goodbye to your guests, so they will never write a bad review about your hotel. The next thing I want to talk about is rates, is how you message rates for hotels on your website. When your customer has landed on your website, they will be waiting to find out more information about your hotel to decide if they want to stay there, and also researching they will get the best deal. Unfortunately, according to RateGain, between 65 to 98% of four-star hotels offers their rooms cheaper on OTA sites rather than on their own, and they have also paid commission-free for these OTAs. Yeah, and researchers show that researchers shows that most customers would prefer to book directly with the hotel, providing they can do so easily and the rates are comparable. So ensure you are publicly marketing the same deals via your website and through your own marketing advertising. Also, you can think about implementing simple widget on your website that will show the comparison between prices on hotels and direct reservation on your websites. Yeah, you can think about the best rate guarantee, price comparison, and other stuff. Offering the same rate as your OTA is not enough to seal the deal. However, although you can publicly offer a lower room rate, if you can publicly offer a lower room rate than that offered by your OTA, you can offer added incentive for customers to book directly with you. Ensure you match the basic room rate with your OTA and then throw in some extras. Yeah. So for example, you have the same price for a room in OTA and on your website, but on your website you can think about giving some free upgrades, inclusive breakfast, a drink from the bar, or the late checkout, or a bottle of wine or box of chocolate. Yeah, you can also consider creating your own bespoke packages only available to book via your website, like spa deals, inclusive parking or tickets to a local attraction or theater. Although the basic room rate is the same as your OTA is offering, the value is perceived as much higher by our customers. So think about that. Not if you can't lower price between your website and OTAs, think about adding some free upgrades, free stuff with direct booking on your website, and you have to think to communicate this directly on your website. And what else? Of course, you have to think that over the time your repeat guests will learn that the best offers and deals are only available on your website. Ensure you use digital marketing techniques to split your offer far and wide and encourage social sharing. Like you have to think to communicate this in all social media channels, that the best race, the best stuff is when someone is booking directly from your website. I'm going to the next thing, and I think this is also the very important thing you have to work on your website, because these are the real examples from your website. I check many of these as I said before, I check many of these webinar attendees website to see how things are going with call to action buttons. Call to action, this is the button that is, this is the thing on the website that is most important to convert people into direct booking. And as I checked before the webinar, most of you have buttons like reservation, book now at the top of the menu on your website, and this is good. But to be sure, what you can think is that the call to action needs to stand out and capture your guest attention. So, for example, your CTA should not only be on the top of the menu and look like the other positions there, but also be sure that the design is different. Yeah. So see the examples. What is the more eye-catching reservation button here? Be sure that the hotel website has two basic functions. One is to present the hotel offer, and the second one is to gain as many reservations as possible. And call to action is the key point to meet the second function. Of course, I can think about optimization of this button. You can think, test which color will be better. If this is, it would be better to have some eye-catching red, blue, green, or something, or you have to change. You have to try to experiment with the text on it. Book your stay, book reservation, book now, or of this is like we don't know which variation would work the best, but you can discover this with your website developer who can test that for you, so you can be sure that this variation gains more clicks on this button, and then you gain more direct reservations. And now I want to talk about other things about website. Is something more complex and more technical, but to be sure you can do this with your person who is responsible for your website. Is website optimization. A study from Google reveals that in the past few years, conversion rate have grown more than 80% on mobile travel sites. This means more and more people are making decisions through their smartphones and mobile devices. And to be sure, you have to think about your website to be more friendly. Keep mobile version simple. Don't put too many pop-ups. Rather have one with an exit intent, and make sure that your call to action button is visible and form for reservation is visible at first without scrolling down. So you have to think about this, like if someone is visiting your hotel's website from the mobile phone with smartphone, if they have to find out easily booking call to action button, and then the form for reservation should be displayed only on one screen without needed for any scrolling down. And the second thing about website optimization is, I think this is issue for many of you, is having optimization with images. So here we have to think we have two things we have to think about. One thing is quality of images. Images can totally change a guest's mind, especially with lower price properties. All looking images were associated with properties being seen as dirty. So you have to think if you have old images to upload the newest. The second thing, and this is more associated with page loading speed, website loading time, is the compression of the images. So slow site speed can fracture with conversion rates. Researchers show that up to 75 people of people will leave your website for a competitor site to avoid dealing with delays. Think about tools like Google Speed Insights that for free will check your website and will point out which things your person responsible for your website need to fix, need to work on to make sure that your hotel's website is loading faster. So you have to think about for example, you have images with that are too big, yeah, in terms of in terms of file size. You have to think about that, and free tools like Google Speed Insights will point out to you which things on your website you have to optimize. Then after the fixing, your website will load faster, and thanks to that, less people will abandon your website and book directly from you. And going to the next point is more about copywriting things. Yeah, and this is the case. This is a pretty short case, and I want to talk about that. This is how you communicate your attractions, your benefits about your hotel. So the rule is simple. You have to speak about the language of value, not just point out the list of attractions you have, but you can. But this is not the point. You have to write on the website how your hotel visitors can have value from your attractions, from your hotel's features. So don't write we have a great spa, a safe and fun play area, or special conference. Instead of, please work on your copywriting and communicate that you have a great spa and gym, and that means you can let your hair down and unwind after a busy day, or you have a kid. If you have a kids, so you can include a quality time with your significant other, or you have a spacious conference room so you can hold meetings comfortably and communicate more effectively by using our course and projectors. In that case, people will not only think that, hey, you have something, but how they can benefit from them. So think about your copy on your website to communicate in more benefit driven style. And the last thing I want to talk about is retargeting. Yeah, no matter how awesome your website is and how easy your bookings are, they will always be website visitors that abandon the booking process partway through. And one way to bring them back is remarketing. And if you never considered remarketing before, it's worth putting some through into. Remarketing allows you to re-engage customers that are already at the edge of converting. After all, you almost had them, but they abandoned the booking process. Yeah, by adding a special code to your website, you can track website visitors who abandon bookings and then show them customized ads online and or in social media after they leave your site to bring them back. It might sound complicated, but it's not. Google AdWords and Facebook custom audience are two good places to start with. Of course, you can also think about your previous customers. You can use this remarketing campaigns for the previous customers, so they will not forget you, and you can always please remember to collect all email addresses from your database to be sure that you can communicate for all of your website visitors and your previous customers current offers and encouraging them to go to visit you again. So thank you all for today's webinar. I hope that you discover today new ways to include in your marketing activities and things that you have to work on your website. Of course, this is not the end of the day, so you can find out more ways to increasing direct bookings. You can combine them. Of course, you also have to be sure to do other things like, replying to all inquiries in social media and email, because it depends on the generation. Now the generation of people in 20s is about Facebook Messenger. So think about, be sure that you are replying to all inquiries in social media, ensuring your hotel description, room types, and amenities are up to date. Your hotel can also highlight some added services like free parking or free breakfast, Wi-Fi, etc. Integrate your social channels, like having a direct booking engine installed in your hotel Facebook page to speed up the booking process. You can use email newsletters to promote the offers that are only available on your website, not on the hotels. Research, I don't know if you know, but researchers show that email marketing is 2 times more effectively than cold mailing to obtain more hotel bookings. And of course, the last trick, this is like Google search, search in Google those bloggers that have written about your hotel and leave a comment thanking them for the write-up and paste your hotel website in the comment section. And this is the trick. If some blogger wrote about your hotel, remember the number of comments below their blog post is one of the factors on which Google shows this blog post on the results page. So more comments, more chances that the blog post about your hotel is on the top of the Google search, and this give you a chance to gain more direct traffic from that blog. So once again, thank you all for this webinar. And if you want to know about hoteliga, so let me just take you 2 minutes to speak with you about hoteliga. So hoteliga is a cloud-based property management system. Also has features like booking engine and channel manager, and allows you to perform with easy daily functions of your hotel. All you need to start is an internet connection. There is no need to download or install anything. We have more than 95 useful reports with visual appealing graphs about sales, payment, occupancy, reservation, invoicing, housekeeping. Yeah, we have commission-free booking engine. Many of our features are like reservation, payments, invoicing, housekeeping, customer relationship management. So if you are interested in hoteliga, please write to me, write to our sales department, or go to our website and start a free trial today. We have a free trial period when you can test our system for 14 days for free without any obligations. So thank you all for today's webinar, and hope you would use some of this knowledge in your daily work.